Sit back and enjoy an hour of fascinating facts you didn't know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. Russian scientists found prehistoric worms in the permafrost of Siberia and managed to revive two of them in a laboratory. These organisms survived in a state of cryptobiosis, an extreme form of metabolic suspension. One was dated to 32,000 years and the other to more than 41,700 years. The dating was done using radiocarbon on nearby plant material. The finding was published in the journal PLOS Genetics. It represents a record in documented biological longevity. The Marine Room is a restaurant located in La Jolla, San Diego, famous for its proximity to the ocean. During high tide, waves crash against its windows while diners enjoy their meal. The windows are made of high-strength tempered glass. They are capable of withstanding the impact of waves of up to 2.5 meters. The restaurant offers special dinners during these tides, known as high tide dinners. The bullet train that connects Beijing with Tianjin in China reaches speeds close to 300 kilometers per hour, and its journey is so stable that a coin can stand on its edge without falling. This man breaks a frozen shirt as if it were cardboard. When flexible materials freeze, the water in their fibers solidifies. This reduces their elasticity and makes them rigid and brittle. When bent or hit, they can break easily. The phenomenon depends on the type of material and its moisture content. The Caucara Valley is located in the department of Quindío, Colombia, and is famous for being home to the Quindío wax palm, the national species of the country. These palms are the tallest in the world and can reach up to 60 meters in height. Each specimen can live more than 100 years in adequate conditions. They grow in misty ecosystems, such as the humid mountain forests of the Andes. Their conservation is a priority due to their ecological vulnerability. The brightest flashlight in the world, known as Night Bright 300, has broken the Guinness record with more than 500,000 lumens. It was created by James Hobson, a Canadian YouTuber, along with his team. The flashlight has 300 LEDs distributed in 50 small plates with 6 LEDs each and is powered by a single battery. The Port Jackson shark has a peculiar appearance because its nostrils are connected to its snout. Each of its teeth fulfills a specific function, and its main objective is to break, crush, and grind mollusks and other hard-shelled species. It inhabits the southern coastal region of Australia, including the waters near Port Jackson, from where it gets its name. It is capable of pumping water to its gills, which allows it to remain on the seabed for long periods. Natalia Kuznetsova is a renowned Russian bodybuilder known for her impressive physique. She began training at 14 years old and has won multiple titles in national and international competitions. Her biceps have a circumference of approximately 48 centimeters and her thighs almost 60 centimeters. Her success is due to her dedication to weightlifting, a high-protein diet, and up to 7 meals a day. The proteus, also known as the human fish, is an aquatic amphibian that lives in the caves of the Balkan region, especially in Slovenia, Croatia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. It is notable for its unique appearance and adaptations to underground life. It has lost its skin pigmentation and its eyes are atrophied since it lives in complete darkness. Instead of sight, it relies on other senses such as smell and sensitivity to vibrations. Hamiko Mori, also known as Gamer Grandma, is the world's oldest video game YouTuber. She was born on February 18th, 1930, which makes her 94 years old. She started playing video games in 1981 at 51 years old and created her YouTube channel in 2014. She currently spends about 8 hours a day playing and publishes 2 to 3 videos a month. In 1964, the Swedish journalist Ake Axelsson devised an experiment to test whether art critics could distinguish between human and animal work. He exhibited 4 paintings made by a chimpanzee named Peter under the name of Pierre Brasseur, a supposed French artist. Although some reviews were negative, one of them highlighted, Pierre is an artist whose pieces are carried out with the delicacy of a ballet dancer. Only one person correctly identified that the work was by the chimpanzee. This type of cake has gone viral in some Asian countries, such as China and Japan. They are hyper-realistic designs that imitate animals, including dogs, and in some cases they simulate some strange actions using liquid chocolate. Although they seem strange, they are part of a provocative trend in artistic pastry. Their purpose is usually to surprise or amuse on social media. Jolene is a rescued alligator in Florida that completely lost its upper jaw. It was found near Sanford with a serious injury, possibly caused by a propeller or a fight. It lives at Gatorland Park in Orlando under specialized care. Due to its condition, it could not survive in the wild. It cannot hunt or feed itself. The park documents its recovery and keeps it as an example of conservation. Bodybuilders often use spray tans before competing. A darker skin tone helps highlight the muscles under the intense stage light. The contrast between light and shadow improves visual definition and volume. This technique allows the muscular details to look more marked. Tanning also unifies skin tone and hides imperfections. This boy did not know it, but after this he will never forget it. In Japan, some convenience stores use anti-crime spheres filled with bright orange paint. These balls are designed to be thrown at thieves who flee after committing a crime. Upon impact, they cover the suspect with a hard-to-remove dye. This facilitates their identification by the police. They are known as Bohenyo Karabaro and are stored behind the counter. They are also used in banks and hotels as a deterrent. It is a simple but effective tool in Japanese urban security. The design of cat beds that simulate famous works of art has circulated on social media. Some show felines resting on prints of the Mona Lisa as if they were part of the painting. In the United States, some surfers practice in waters close to 0 degrees, especially in regions like the Great Lakes. Although the water is not frozen, the air can be extremely cold. The beard offers some thermal protection to the face, but it can freeze in severe conditions. To withstand the cold, surfers use special neoprene suits. These suits help to conserve body heat in cold water. They are also complemented with gloves, boots, and hoods. It is a demanding practice that requires adequate equipment and physical preparation. In some cases, dogs can tear off moldings from parked vehicles, especially if they are stressed or stimulated by smells or sounds. This behavior is not natural or common, but it can be related to anxiety or lack of exercise. However, damaging a car requires a specific cause. Factors such as the environment, training, and emotional state influence it. The Danish archer Lars Andersen is known for techniques that make arrows seem to change direction in the air. He places the arrow off-center on the string and uses modified designs to alter its trajectory. The rotation and air resistance influence the change of direction. The initial position of the arrow helps, but it is not the only factor. Not all arrows can achieve this effect. In August of 2010, a historic traffic jam was recorded on the Beijing-Tibet Expressway in China, which stretched for more than 100 kilometers and lasted for about 12 days, with some drivers advancing barely 1 kilometer per day. The main cause was a combination of maintenance work that reduced road capacity by 50% and a massive increase in heavy trucks that transported coal to Beijing, which caused one of the longest documented traffic jams in modern history. There is a job that consists of smelling armpits. Armpit sniffers work for deodorant and perfume companies, evaluating the effectiveness of products by smelling up to 60 armpits per hour. This job requires a good sense of smell and a willingness to smell other people's sweaty bodies. After evaluating the odors, they write reports on the effectiveness of the deodorants. Salaries range from $19,000 to $52,000 a year, depending on experience. Look at these interesting skulls and skeletons made of crystal. They are created by the American artist Eric Franklin. In addition, he places neon lights on them so that his pieces glow in the dark. Eric is in charge of melting, molding, and assembling these skulls and skeletons bone by bone. His work combines art and science, creating unique and fascinating sculptures. In the future, the Milky Way will collide with the Andromeda Galaxy. Researchers believe this will happen in approximately 3.8 billion years, and the final merger will only take place almost 2 billion years later. Both galaxies are approaching each other at a speed close to 300 kilometers per second. The gravitational interaction between them will likely accentuate the spiral structure of both galaxies. This union has been named Lactomeda. The Guinness record for the longest hair in the world is held by Xia Qiuping from China with a length of 5.6 meters when it was measured on May 8, 2004. Xia began growing her hair in 1973 when she was only 13 years old. Maintaining a mane of such length requires meticulous care and a lot of time dedicated to its maintenance. Most school buses are yellow because this color is highly visible in low light conditions and is easily perceptible even to people with vision problems. The color yellow was officially adopted for school buses in the United States in 1939. The Xenos metoni is a parasite that infects Asian wasps like the Asian hornet or Vespa mandarinia. This parasite can grow to be larger than the host insect and alter its behavior. When an infected wasp mates with another infected wasp, the male parasite is transferred and mates with the female parasite inside the host. Then, the infected female wasp deposits the offspring in other uninfected insects, thus spreading the parasite in its environment. These candles are called Dawn City and reveal hidden silhouettes of cities as they burn down. They are made with soy wax and contain three-dimensional concrete models inside. When lit, the heat melts the wax and reveals monuments, such as the Eiffel Tower or the Taj Mahal. Each candle represents a different city, such as New York, Tokyo, or Rome. They're decorative pieces designed to surprise visually. Although it seems incredible, the story of a Scotsman named Jim who created a soccer league for pigeons has circulated on social media. According to the story, he trains the birds to chase a ball filled with birdseed. Every Friday, he sets up a small field and the pigeons arrive ready to play. Tree rings are formed by the seasonal growth of xylem, adding one layer per year in temperate climates. This characteristic allows the age of the tree to be estimated with great precision. If the section shows 30 rings, it corresponds to 30 years of life. When observing the entire trunk, some trees can reach ages close to 3,000 years. In tropical climates, the rings can be irregular or absent. Dendrochronology studies these patterns to reconstruct environmental histories. In art and anatomy, an idealized proportion is used to represent the human body. It is said to measure approximately 8 times the length of the head. This measurement goes from the chin to the crown of the head. Multiplying that distance by 8 gives a standard height for adult figures. In the year 2002, Thad Roberts, a NASA intern, stole lunar rocks from the Johnson Space Center as a romantic gesture for his girlfriend. He took approximately 7.7 kilograms of scientific samples. Some were placed under the mattress to simulate having had relations on the moon. The theft was valued at more than $20 million. He was arrested and sentenced to federal prison. The African rock python is capable of devouring large animals such as antelopes or crocodiles. It is not venomous, but it kills by constriction, suffocating its prey. It swallows them whole thanks to its flexible jaws. Digestion can last for days or weeks, depending on the size and temperature. In one documented case, a python digested a crocodile in 6 days. X-rays clearly show the digestion process in these snakes. Filmed in Boyaca, Colombia, this video shows a church built with local stone. The region is rich in marine fossils due to its geological past. Although fossils were not used as the main material, some stones may contain embedded remains. Boyaca is home to nearby paleontological sites, such as Villa de Leyva. Fossils from the Cretaceous period have been found there. In the camel's mouth, specifically on the sides of its jaw, there are cavities that expand remarkably when chewing. Unlike the cheeks of other animals, these cavities do not contain food, but are part of a system adapted for the ingestion of dry and thorny forage, characteristic of their desert habitat. When chewing, these cavities inflate to allow the large amount of crushed and salivated food to be temporarily stored before being swallowed, thus facilitating the intake of large volumes of food at once. Sunflowers exhibit a behavior called heliotropism, in which they turn their heads to follow the sun during the day, maximizing photosynthesis. On cloudy or rainy days, sunflowers remain oriented in the direction of the last visible sun, but do not turn towards other sunflowers. Mature sunflowers stop showing this behavior and generally face east. Honeybees, when they sting, usually die because their stinger is designed to get stuck in the target's skin, which causes their abdomen to tear when they try to pull it out. However, in rare cases, some bees may regret it and make movements to detach the stinger and thus continue living. This behavior was captured on camera by Alicia Vixler, a beekeeper, in 1963. This statuette represents Krishna, one of the most venerated deities in Hinduism. Although some believe that other divinities such as Shiva and Brahma emanate from him, each one has its own origin and function. In Hindu rituals, milk is offered to figures such as Shiva for its symbolism of purity and life. The cow, the source of milk, is considered sacred. This is how astronaut gloves are made. They are custom-made to ensure a perfect fit and maximum functionality, using advanced materials and high-precision techniques. Beavers have strong and resistant teeth because their tooth enamel is hardened with iron instead of calcium like in humans. This gives them an orange coloration and makes their teeth more resistant to acid and mechanical stress. In addition, beavers' teeth constantly grow and sharpen as they age. This is because beavers use their teeth to chisel tree trunks, tear bark, and drag logs to build water channels. Mateo Cabarra redesigned the classic Converse Chuck Taylors in an 8-bit style, fusing the retro aesthetic of video games with contemporary urban fashion. His pixelated version is not part of the brand's official line, but it has circulated widely on social media. Cabarra uses the graphic language of old video games to reinterpret cultural icons. Look at these two ants working together to pull a cockroach by the antennas. These small but powerful creatures can carry 10 to 50 times their body weight. In Saudi Arabia, there is a practice known as two-wheel driving, considered a form of automotive exhibition. It consists of tilting the vehicle onto its side wheels while it is in motion. The control depends on the speed, the angle, and the skill of the driver. In certain cases, the vehicle goes downhill and in neutral, which explains why the raised wheels do not turn. This maneuver is performed in wide and desert areas. Toby, a whippet dog, achieved the Guinness record for popping 100 balloons in a time of 36.536 seconds. This was filmed in Punta de Agua, San Rafael, Mendoza, Argentina. There, the farmer Alberto Polkasnik created the so-called living houses. They're houses made with living trees, strategically planted to form walls and roofs. Over time, the trunks grow and are reinforced, allowing for natural covering such as mud. The trees are not cut down, but are integrated into the design. It is an ecological proposal that seeks harmony with the environment. The Dutch police have been training eagles to intercept and shoot down drones that fly illegally in restricted areas. This pilot project is being carried out in collaboration with the company Guards from Above and has proven to be an effective and safe solution to address the problem of unauthorized drones. The Priango Petrified Forest in Ecuador contains fossils of trees that date back more than 100 million years. The wood turns into stone through a process of petrification underground. This happens when the trunks are buried in mineral-rich sediments. The groundwater filters minerals, such as silica, into the plant cells. Over time, the organic matter decomposes and is replaced by rock. In Chiclayo, Peru, similar deposits are also reported. Both sites show how geology preserves ancient plant structures. This was filmed in Sequoia, a national park in California, United States. The park is famous for its giant sequoias, including the General Sherman, considered the tree with the largest volume in the world. This specimen is close to 83 meters high and exceeds 1,400 cubic meters of wood. In the park there is a tunnel carved into a fallen tree called Tunnel Log, created in 1937. The authorities apply strict conservation policies. They seek to alter the natural environment as little as possible. A group of researchers from the Royal Veterinary College of London conducted a study in which they used soap bubbles and helium to visualize the flight of an owl. They discovered that owls generate air vortices when they flap their wings, which creates a phenomenon known as induced drag. This phenomenon also occurs in airplanes and could be useful for aeronautical engineering in the future. In Istanbul, Turkey, municipal cranes remove poorly parked vehicles with remarkable speed. In some cases, the process can take less than 1 minute. These operations seek to maintain road order in congested areas. The hydrofoil board, also known as e-foil, is a board that rises above the water thanks to a submerged wing and an electric motor. It is controlled with a wireless remote control while the user stands on it. The Puerto Rican company Lift Foils was the first to commercialize this type of board. Its design allows it to glide over the water without waves or wind. Carrots used to be purple. They started to be made orange in the Middle Ages in the Netherlands to honor the Dutch monarch William of Orange, whose heraldic color was orange. The border between Belgium and the Netherlands in Barle is one of the most complex in the world. On the ground, marks like crosses indicate the border between both countries. You can cross from one country to another by walking in a straight line several times. Some houses and businesses are divided by the border. This situation is due to old feudal agreements from the Middle Ages. The Belgian enclaves are called Barle-Hertog and the Dutch ones Barle-Nassau. Although they have tried to simplify it, today it is a unique tourist attraction. The phenomenon known as candle ice develops in columns perpendicular to the surface of a lake or other body of water. This type of ice forms when the water begins to melt vertically, creating structures that look like candles. It is an incredible and fascinating natural phenomenon that can be observed in cold climates. Although many have tried, it is not possible to fry an egg directly on the asphalt with only the heat of the sun. To cook an egg, you need at least 70 degrees Celsius, and the pavement rarely exceeds 60 degrees even on extreme days. In addition, asphalt does not have good thermal conductivity, which prevents heat from being distributed efficiently. On the other hand, metal surfaces such as a car hood can reach temperatures above 80 degrees. In those cases, with the help of a lid, it is possible to fry an egg. Elephants have the ability to lift and transport heavy objects with ease, thanks to their muscular trunks and powerful legs. An adult elephant can weigh up to 6,000 kilograms and can lift objects that are several times its own weight. This ability allows them to perform tasks such as tearing down trees and transporting large amounts of food or materials in their environment. When threatened, the bombardier beetle shoots a hot jet of chemicals from its rear end. These substances generate large amounts of heat and pressure that help the insect defend itself. The chemical mixture that produces this jet is mainly composed of hydroquinone and hydrogen peroxide, which are combined in a special chamber in the beetle's abdomen. The Chinese space station has successfully incorporated 2 vegetable cultivation systems. The first, operational since late June, has harvested 4 batches of lettuce. The second system, deployed in mid-August, is intended for growing cherry tomatoes and green onions. Both systems have yielded surprising and exciting results, marking a significant advance in space agriculture. In 1963, Alfred Freddy Heineken, grandson of the founder of the Heineken Brewery, devised a bottle called Wobo that could function as a brick to build houses. The idea arose during a visit to the island of Curacao, where Heineken observed the lack of building materials and the contamination of the beaches with beer bottles. Although 100,000 units were manufactured, the project was not a commercial success, and today there are only a few structures built with these bottles. Train wheels are not perfectly cylindrical, but slightly conical. This shape allows the train to stay centered on the tracks without the need for additional mechanisms. When taking curves, the difference in radii between the edges of the wheel compensates for the path of each rail. This reduces wear and improves the stability of the vehicle. The conicity also helps to avoid excessive friction against the rails. The Red Bull Soapbox Race is an ingenious and fun event, designed for the enjoyment of participants and spectators. In this competition, creative homemade vehicles go down a slope with obstacles. The race is designed to be exciting, but there are always risks involved when going down a slope with obstacles in your little car. In Russia, it is not true that civilians drive tanks freely around the country. The armored vehicles that are seen in motion are under military control. Their presence increases in the weeks leading up to the May 9th parade, Victory Day. In cities like Moscow, it is common to see columns of tanks and military trucks on test routes. These movements are organized and supervised by the army. Although citizens can observe or photograph them, they do not have access to driving them. In recent years, these exhibitions have become more restricted for security reasons. In countries like Ghana and Nigeria, funerals can include music, dancing, and singing as part of traditional rituals. These practices celebrate the life of the deceased and mark their spiritual transition. In South Africa, there are also funerals with musical elements, although they vary according to the community. These expressions reflect a cultural vision where death is not just a loss. This video was filmed in Nebraska, United States, where a giant wave-shaped cloud was observed. Although it looks like a tsunami, it is a roll cloud or volutus. These formations are low, horizontal, and elongated, and can appear without a storm. They are sometimes confused with Arcus clouds or shelf clouds, which do announce bad weather. The volutus are formed by differences in temperature and pressure between layers of air. This pool is located at the Marina Bay Sands, a hotel complex in Singapore. It is located on the 57th floor, on top of the skyscraper's Sky Park. It is an infinity pool with panoramic views of the city. Its design makes it one of the most iconic pools in the world. Uluru is a sandstone monolith located in the center of Australia, within the Northern Territory. It is considered a World Heritage Site for its natural and cultural value. Although the climate is arid most of the year, during the rainy season temporary waterfalls can form on its slopes. These waterfalls transform the landscape in a spectacular way. Uluru has great spiritual importance for the Anangu Aboriginal peoples. Its reddish color changes with the light of day and humidity. It is one of the most recognizable geological icons of the Australian continent. In the United States, trailers can tip over due to strong winds, especially during storms or tornadoes. These vehicles have a large side surface that makes them vulnerable to intense gusts. Some drivers manage to avoid tipping over by changing their route or stopping in protected areas. The risk increases in open areas and elevated roads. This work was filmed at the National Museum of Singapore and belongs to the local artist Matthew Angui. Angui is known for exploring perception and the change of meaning according to the point of view. His every point of view installation uses tubes and projections to transform the image according to the viewer's angle. The central message is that everything depends on perspective. The hurdy-gurdy, also called vihuela da rueda, is a medieval instrument developed in Europe since the 11th century. It belongs to the family of bowed chordophones, like the violin. It produces sound through a rotating wheel impregnated with resin that rubs the strings by friction. Its most accepted origin is in feudal Europe, with possible Arab contributions. It was used in religious and popular music for centuries. The Great Wall of China is just over 21,000 kilometers long. To put its magnitude in perspective, if it were to extend along the European coast, it would cover practically the entire continent. This is what it would look like along the coast of Europe. The soft-shelled turtle belongs to the Trionychidae family and is distinguished by its agility. Unlike hard-shelled turtles, its flexible structure allows it to move quickly. In the water, they are especially fast, and on land, they can show surprising movements. Some species, such as the Chinese soft-shelled turtle, react quickly when they feel threatened. X-rays show images in different tones depending on the density of the materials. Metals, by blocking almost all X-rays, appear white. Bones also look white or light gray due to their high density. Muscles and organs full of water are shown in medium gray. Fat, which is less dense, appears in dark gray. Air, like that in the lungs, looks black because it barely blocks X-rays. This technique allows internal structures to be observed without surgery. It is an essential tool in medical diagnosis. The carbon dioxide laser is a technology used mainly in industrial cutting and engraving. It emits infrared radiation through a gaseous mixture that includes carbon dioxide. Its wavelength makes it effective for working with materials such as wood, acrylic, fabric, and certain plastics. It can also be applied in medicine and in some scientific tasks. The 3D pen is a device that allows you to create physical shapes by extruding hot plastic filament that hardens on contact with air. It is useful for artistic modeling, simple repairs, and prototypes. It is controlled manually and requires some skill. This tree is known as the rainbow eucalyptus, and its scientific name is Eucalyptus diglupta. As it grows, its bark peels off in segments, revealing layers of vibrant colors. The green corresponds to the most recent bark, which over time turns blue, then purple, orange, and finally maroon. This process occurs irregularly, creating a unique multicolored pattern. It is native to the Philippines, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea. It is grown in tropical regions such as Hawaii, Australia, and Central America. The Bubble Hotel, known as the 5 Million Star Hotel, is located in Iceland near the Golden Circle tourist route. Its rooms are transparent bubbles that allow you to observe the sky in the middle of nature. The bathrooms are located a few meters away in separate facilities. At certain times of the year, you can see the northern lights from the hotel. This video was filmed in Hungary, between the towns of Saderli and Mohacs. It shows an impressive stampede of hundreds of deer crossing the road. The herd seems endless and moves with speed and coordination. Filmed in New Zealand, this forest shows trees that fall or break even without strong winds. Many look dead or sick, but even healthy trees can become fragile if their environment changes. When they are scattered, they have less wind resistance. On the other hand, when they grow together, they form a structural system that better distributes external forces. The loss of neighboring trees weakens their stability. This phenomenon reflects how ecological balance affects physical resistance. Lake Bled is located in Slovenia, within the Julian Alps region. This European country became independent in the year 1991 after the dissolution of Yugoslavia. The Julian Alps get their name from the Latin term Alpes Iulii, possibly linked to Roman influence in the area. The lake is known for its island with a church and its medieval castle. It is one of the most emblematic tourist destinations in the country. Filmed in Hainan Province, China, this video shows two farmers guiding their ducks to feed. It is a common practice in rural areas of the country. The ducks follow their caretakers in an orderly formation. They head to rice paddies, bodies of water, or open fields to look for insects, snails, and vegetable remains. This technique also helps to naturally control pests. At the end of the day, the ducks return to the corral guided by the same methods. An emu egg is one of the largest in the avian kingdom. It measures approximately 13 centimeters long and weighs between 450 and 600 grams. Its shell is thick and has a very characteristic dark green color. Emus are the second largest bird in the world after the ostrich. These eggs are used in gastronomy and crafts in some regions. The Magic Roundabout is located in Swindon, England, and is one of the most complex intersections in the country. It was opened in 1972 to solve traffic problems in the area. It is composed of a central roundabout surrounded by 5 mini roundabouts. The inner lane turns counterclockwise and the outer lane turns clockwise. Although it seems chaotic, it improves vehicular flow when the signs are respected. Studies have shown that it reduces waiting times and accidents. It is an example of efficient and unconventional road design. The whirling dervishes belong to the Mevlevi order, which originated in Turkey in the 13th century. Their spiritual dance, called Sema, symbolizes the ascent of the soul towards divine truth. The turns represent the abandonment of the ego and the connection with the eternal. Although the ceremony is Muslim and deeply mystical, similar shows are presented in other countries. In Egypt, dances inspired by this tradition can be seen, but they do not always follow the original rite. The Elf Cat M1 is an electric car produced in China for urban use. It has a capacity for up to 4 people and runs on a 48-volt lithium battery. It is considered economical within the segment of light electric vehicles. Its price varies according to the quantity purchased. For small orders, it costs around $3,250 per unit. In larger purchases, it can drop to $2,980. The bush plane is a type of aircraft designed to operate in remote areas without airport infrastructure. It can land on short runways, fields, beaches, or frozen rivers. It is common in regions such as Alaska, Canada, Africa, and Australia. Its landing gear is robust, and its high wings allow for better visibility and maneuverability. These planes are essential for transportation, medical evacuations, and delivery of supplies. They are valued for their ability to access difficult terrain. This bridge is built only with dry pasta. Although pasta is fragile individually, organized in structural systems, it can withstand considerable loads. The key is in its architectural design, which distributes the weight efficiently. The round structure that points downwards acts as the main support. Students progressively place weight to test its resistance. This practice is part of structural engineering competitions. The Sky Cycle is an attraction located within the Eden Nature Park and Resort in Davao, Philippines. It consists of pedaling a bicycle suspended in the air on a cable. It is part of a private tourist complex with several adventure activities. These include ziplining, an aerial swing, and hiking. The Sky Cycle stands out for combining excitement and panoramic views. Ornussen is a traditional sport originating from Switzerland, played by 2 teams that alternate between launching and deflecting a disc called a nis. The disc is hit with a long, flexible bat from a ramp and can reach up to 330 meters. The defenders use boards called schindeln to prevent the disc from touching the ground. Each player has 2 opportunities per turn, with 3 attempts per hit. The team that manages to deflect the most discs wins the game. The oldest records date back to the 16th century. Today, Hornussen is only played in an organized way in Switzerland. The sakura, or Japanese cherry blossom, blooms every year at the beginning of spring in Japan. In the Kanto region, which includes Tokyo and Yokohama, the flowering usually begins in late March. These flowers last only a few days, and their ephemeral beauty is a symbol of renewal. The most common species is Prunus yedoensis, known as Yoshino. The phenomenon is celebrated with hanami, the tradition of observing the flowers. Thousands of people gather in parks to enjoy the landscape. It is one of the most emblematic natural events in the country. In 1986, the Balloon Fest was held in Cleveland, United States, where about 1,500,000 balloons were released. The event sought to break a world record and was organized by United Way. Although it was initially celebrated, it had serious consequences. The balloons descended on Lake Erie and made it difficult to rescue 2 missing voters. Both were found dead days later. Air traffic disruptions and lawsuits were also reported. The event was not repeated due to its negative effects. The Big Rush Swing is installed in the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban, South Africa. It is considered the highest urban swing in the world. Participants launch themselves from a platform located at about 80 meters in height. The fall describes an arc over the stadium field. The stadium reaches 105 meters at its highest point. In 1988, the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission conducted an impact test with an F-4 Phantom jet. The plane was propelled against a reinforced concrete wall at high speed. The objective was to evaluate the resistance of nuclear structures to aerial collisions. The jet was completely destroyed after the impact. However, the wall barely suffered superficial damage. Steel wool is used in some exhaust systems, especially in mufflers. Its main function is to muffle the noise of the gases as they leave the engine. It is placed inside cavities designed to absorb sound. However, it should not be visibly coming out of the exhaust. If metallic fibers are observed, it may indicate wear or internal damage. Not all cars use this material, as there are other acoustic technologies. There are small accessories designed to keep the lid of instant ramen closed while they cook. Some are shaped like a doll and are made with heat-sensitive materials. When they reach a certain temperature, they change color as a visual signal. Their main function is to keep the lid closed to retain heat. On Etegran Island, Russia, is the so-called whale bone alley. It is an archaeological site with skulls and mandibles of bowhead whales lined up along the coast. It is believed to have been created by indigenous Arctic peoples as a meeting place or ceremony. The remains form a kind of symbolic corridor. The exact purpose remains a subject of study. Julian Boss-Andrea is a German artist and physicist known for his sculptures inspired by quantum physics. His works explore concepts such as superposition and wave-particle duality. One of his most notable sculptures, called Spanningsfeld, is installed at the University of Minnesota. Josh Hernandez, known as Matt Charcoal, is a talented artist who creates incredible landscapes and portraits using charcoal as his main tool. His works range from charcoal to painting and mixed media. He focuses mainly on portraiture and figurative work, with a focus on achromatic values and expressive nature. His unique style and outstanding skills have earned him recognition in the art world. For April Fool's Day, Pizza Hut in Taiwan sold a zero-harm pizza. This consisted of a ring of light crust that doesn't make you fat or bloat your stomach. It was an ingenious and well-received joke by the public. Homing pigeons carried messages tied to their legs. This process was carefully controlled. Pigeons were raised and trained in a specific place. When a message needed to be sent, they were placed in a cage and transported to the destination. When released, they would find their way back home carrying the message. This method has been used in various cultures throughout history due to the natural ability of pigeons to orient themselves and find their home from great distances. Margaret and Neve was born on May 18th, 1792, and lived until April 4th, 1903. She was one of the first verified people to live in 3 different centuries. Margaret witnessed the evolution of society and technology for more than a century. The heart we draw, with its stylized and symmetrical shape, is inspired more by ancient symbols than by the real organ. It is believed to come from the silhouette of the ivy leaf, or the fruit of the silphium plant, used in antiquity as a symbol of love and fertility. Over time, this representation became a romantic icon, far from the complex structure of the real heart, which is more irregular and functional. Every April 19th, World The Simpsons Day is celebrated. This animated series debuted in 1987 and has become a fundamental part of popular culture. The Simpsons have not only entertained viewers, but have also been an oracle of future events. They have made surprising predictions, from political events to technological advances, that have come true in the real world. These predictions have left everyone speechless and have consolidated the series' relevance in contemporary culture. Roman Budin is an artist who transforms coins from various parts of the world into handmade mechanical works of art. Each of his creations includes a hidden mechanism. Budin is famous for his skill in incorporating complex mechanical elements into his designs, which sell quickly due to their originality and attention to detail. As absurd as it seems, some McDonald's in China have installed stationary bicycles instead of seats at the tables. According to Harvard University, cycling at a speed of 19 kilometers per hour makes an average person burn about 300 calories in 30 minutes. Each McNugget has approximately 42 calories, so it takes about 5 minutes of exercise to burn each one. For a burger, fries, and soda, you would need approximately 1.5 hours of continuous exercise. This man tattooed his favorite football team's jersey on his entire torso. This is Jose Mauricio dos Anjos, a 33-year-old man from Rio de Janeiro, whose fanaticism for the sport led him to get this peculiar body art. For the elaboration of this design, the artist spent more than 90 hours of work. Since he was very young, Jose dreamed of tattooing the Flamengo team jersey from the Brazilian league, and now as an adult, he was able to make it a reality. Nissin has launched a breakfast-flavored ramen that includes notes of pancakes, egg, sausage, and syrup. This unusual combination seeks to offer a unique culinary experience for ramen lovers. There are more than 10,000 types of tomatoes worldwide. The varieties differ in color, shape, size, and flavor. Some varieties are small and sweet like cherry tomatoes, while others are large and fleshy, ideal for making sauces. They also vary according to regions. For example, the Kamado tomato is native to Spain and is known for its dark color and bittersweet taste. In addition, tomatoes have a wide range of colors, including red, yellow, orange, green, and even purple. The longest anime is Seiji-san, which currently has more than 8,100 episodes. The series began airing in 1969 and is still on air. It is a cultural phenomenon in Japan, known for its everyday stories about the Seiji family. Although it is not as well known outside of Japan, its longevity makes it a true television titan, keeping entire generations entertained for decades. This gin you see is one of the rarest in the world. Inlova gin is a unique South African gin that is made using ingredients derived from elephant dung. The dung is dried, sterilized, clarified, and infused into the gin. Each bottle of Inlovo carries the GPS coordinates of the place where the dung was collected and the date of collection. The price of a bottle is approximately $35. Peanut butter was developed by John Harvey Kellogg in 1895 as a nutritious meat substitute for elderly people and patients with difficulty chewing solid foods. In 1903, Dr. Ambrose Straub patented a machine to make peanut butter, which allowed its commercialization. Since then, peanut butter has become a popular food enjoyed by millions of people for its delicious taste and nutritional value. Japanese scientists have developed a prototype robot called Dragon Firefighter. This robot, inspired by flying dragons, uses a 4-meter-long hose that is propelled by water jets. The goal is to help firefighters put out fires from a distance, keeping them safe. The big-headed turtle, also known as the big-headed turtle, has a head so large that it cannot completely hide it in its shell. To protect itself, its head acts as a shield due to its bony roof. This species is characterized by climbing trees near rivers and streams. It feeds on fish and snails and can be very aggressive. It is found in China, Laos, Burma, Thailand, and Vietnam. The Cave of Crystals, also known as the Cave of Nika, is located about 300 meters deep in Nika, Chihuahua, Mexico. The selenite gypsum crystals in this cave are truly impressive, with some reaching more than 12 meters long. The cave is extremely hot, with temperatures that can reach 58 degrees Celsius. The Israeli company Tevel Aerobotics Technologies has developed autonomous flying robots called FAR, or Flying Autonomous Robots, that can harvest ripe fruits without human intervention. These robots take off from a base station, collect only the ripe fruit from the tree, and gently lower it to place it in baskets. The technology allows the robots to work 24 hours a day, which helps overcome the labor shortage in agriculture. This technology has been implemented in several countries, including Chile. In 1928, the British scientist Alexander Fleming accidentally discovered penicillin, the first antibiotic. This discovery revolutionized modern medicine and has saved countless lives by effectively treating bacterial infections. The largest known star after the Sun is Uaiscuti, a red hypergiant located in the Scutum constellation. Its radius is approximately 1,700 times greater than that of the Sun. If the Sun were the size of a cherry, Uaiscuti would be comparable to a 10-story building. This star is a colossus in the universe, standing out for its impressive magnitude. Puffins are seabirds known for their colorful beaks and picturesque appearance. They are monogamous and keep a single mate for life. Once they reach maturity, generally around 4 or 5 years of age, they begin to look for a partner with whom they will form a lifelong bond. Rainbows are formed when sunlight is broken down into individual colors as it passes through raindrops in the atmosphere. These drops reflect and refract the light, separating the colors and creating the characteristic multicolor effect. The angle of refraction determines the shape and position of the rainbow in relation to the observer. In Colombia, there is a population of hippos that descends from those that were part of Pablo Escobar's personal zoo at Hacienda Napoles. After Escobar's death, these hippos were released and have proliferated in the Magdalena Medio region, becoming an invasive species that threatens local biodiversity. The cloven scorpion is a gaming chair shaped like a scorpion that also offers massage and movement functions. This chair is designed to provide a comfortable and ergonomic gaming experience, with features such as an electric control to adjust the inclination and an LED lighting system. MyFridgeFood.com is a website that offers quick and easy recipes based on the ingredients you have in your refrigerator. You simply select the available ingredients and the page shows you multiple recipe options. It is a useful tool to save time and effort in the kitchen. The Kaitum Cave, located in Mount Elgon National Park in Kenya, is considered one of the most dangerous natural places in the world. The cave is known for harboring deadly viruses, such as the Marburg virus, which can cause severe hemorrhagic fever. The entrance to the cave is difficult to cross and presents additional risks due to the unusual animals that live inside, including elephants and bats. Mountain Dew released a commercial called Puppy Monkey Baby during Super Bowl 50 in 2016. This commercial featured a strange creature with the legs of a baby, the tail of a monkey, and the head of a puppy, known as Puppy Monkey Baby. The commercial became very famous and is considered one of the strangest and most memorable commercials in history. The Gateshead Millennium Bridge is located over the River Tyne between Gateshead and Newcastle in England. Due to its peculiar design, it is considered the only tilting bridge in the world. It was designed by the architect Wilkinson Eyre and the structural engineer Gifford and measures approximately 120 meters long. When a ship needs to pass under the bridge, a true engineering spectacle occurs. The blue bees of Australia, known scientifically as Amygdala cingulata, are solitary bees that do not produce honey. They have turquoise stripes on their abdomen and measure between 10 and 12 millimeters. They are very important for food production in Australia, since their pollination contributes to at least 30% of crops. This is one of the largest freshwater fish in the world, and it is capable of breathing out of water. Its name is Arapaima, and it is distributed in dense, low-oxygen rivers throughout the Amazon basin in Brazil, Peru, and Guyana. This is due to its natural habitat, which has allowed it to acquire the ability to breathe pure air regularly. The body of this fish reaches 3 meters in length and weighs up to 200 kilograms. The jackfruit, also known as yucca, is the largest fruit in the world and can weigh up to 55 kilograms. It is native to Southeast Asia and is known for its sweet taste and distinctive aroma. This fruit is used in a variety of dishes, both sweet and savory. In vegetarian and vegan cooking, jackfruit is popular as a meat substitute due to its texture similar to pulled meat when cooked. North Pole in Alaska is a small city with a population of approximately 2,740 inhabitants. In fact, one of the city council members is named Santa Claus. His real name is Thomas Patrick O'Connor, and he changed his name to help bring awareness to his activism for children's health and well-being. Ian Webster, an American paleontologist, created an interactive map that shows the movements of the Earth over the last 750 million years. This map allows users to enter the name of a city, state, or country and see approximately where it was located in different time periods. It is a fascinating tool to explore how geographical locations have changed throughout the history of the Earth. Meet Tefi, a robot dog developed by the Higher Council for Scientific Research in Spain. It is designed to help dependent and visually impaired people using artificial intelligence and voice recognition to interact with users. Tefi also has an automatic navigation system that allows it to guide people both indoors and outdoors. Crop circles are complex patterns that appear in crop fields, and their origin remains a mystery. Although some have been attributed to pranksters, others remain inexplicable, which has fueled theories about paranormal phenomena or extraterrestrial activity. These patterns have been reported in different parts of the world, mainly in the United Kingdom since the 1970s. The Netherlands and Azerbaijan are the only two countries to have their capitals below sea level. In the case of the Netherlands, its capital, Amsterdam, is located approximately 2 meters below sea level. On the other hand, Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan, is located on the coast of the Caspian Sea, which is the largest lake in the world and is 28 meters below sea level. Mongolia is the independent country with the lowest population density in the world. It has around 3.3 million inhabitants in an area of more than 1.5 million square kilometers, which results in a population density of only 2 people per square kilometer. This means that Mongolia has enormous open areas with few inhabitants. The Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, one of the most emblematic icons of Gothic architecture, began to be built in 1163 and was completed in 1345. The most surprising thing is that its famous gargoyles not only have a decorative function, but also a practical one. They act as drains to prevent rainwater from damaging the walls of the church. After the devastating fire of 2019, restoration efforts are being carried out to restore it to its original splendor. In the middle of the Sahara Desert there is a megalithic monument built approximately 6,000 years ago, that is, 1,000 years before Stonehenge. This site is composed of 30 stones placed in a circle with another 6 stones inside. It is suspected that this monument has some relationship with the constellations. The Magic Fort is an inflatable tent developed by the Catalan startup. This hybrid tent can serve as both a caravan and a garage, creating a glamping space with the car housed inside and turning it into the cozy second floor of a spacious camp. Campers can enjoy several individual rooms to change clothes, for entertainment, and to relax in nature. Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongol Empire, accumulated vast riches during his conquests. However, upon his death, he ordered that his tomb and treasure be hidden in a secret place. The curious thing is that to this day, the exact location of Genghis Khan's tomb and treasure remains one of the greatest archaeological mysteries, with many unsuccessful expeditions. In the early days of Bitcoin, many people bought the cryptocurrency when it was worth only a few cents. The curious thing is that when Bitcoin reached astronomical prices, many of these first coins were in digital wallets to which access had been lost. Today, it is estimated that billions of dollars in Bitcoin are lost forever, simply because their owners cannot remember their passwords. The more rocky boulders are large, round rocks found on the coast of New Zealand, near Cocoa Beach in Otago. These rock formations were created by the cementation of sediments on the seabed approximately 60 million years ago. Their unique appearance has led to various theories about their origin, including that they are dinosaur eggs or extraterrestrial remains. Ancient ninjas carried crickets or cicadas with them to disguise the sound of their footsteps. These insects produced natural noises that helped mask the sounds of the ninjas' movements, allowing them to move silently without being detected. The jewelry created by the Polish designer Eva Nowak consists of a kind of metal mask with three figures that fit the face and are fixed to the head using a wire on the sides, similar to how glasses are worn. The secret of its operation lies in the reflective material that deceives facial recognition software. Nowak has tested the piece using Facebook's Deep Face algorithm and has shown that it can block facial recognition. We can see the moon during the day due to the way sunlight is reflected on its surface and the relative position of the moon, Earth, and sun. The moon does not produce its own light, but reflects the light of the sun. During the day, when the sun is high in the sky, part of its light is reflected on the lunar surface, which makes it visible even when the sky is lit by sunlight. For his role in the movie Castaway, Tom Hanks gained approximately 50 pounds to better represent the character of Chuck Noland. After filming the first half, production stopped for a year so that Hanks could lose the weight and grow his hair and beard before continuing with the second half. The fossa is the largest native carnivore of Madagascar and the dominant predator on the island. Its size is approximately twice that of domestic cats. Males measure between 70 and 80 centimeters, not including their tail, which can reach up to 90 centimeters. Unfortunately, its population has decreased in recent decades due to hunting and the destruction of its natural habitat. In case of emergency, medical personnel at hospitals must take babies out inside these beasts. Each one has a capacity for 3 newborns. On the beaches of California, many dogs and their owners gather every year to participate in a surf dog competition. This tradition began in the year 2005 with the aim of raising funds to save the lives of stray canines. During the winter, the Svalbard archipelago in Norway experiences the polar night, a period in which the sun does not rise above the horizon for more than 4 months. This phenomenon creates an environment of continuous darkness interrupted only by the beauty of the northern lights that illuminate the sky. In the 16th century, Europeans imagined African animals based on the stories told by explorers. The representations of animals such as crocodiles, lions, and elephants in medieval paintings were often inaccurate and fantastical due to the lack of direct observation. This great invention allows you to fill up to 100 water balloons in just 1 minute. Its name is Buncho Balloons, and it is a device with a thread that connects to a hose or faucet to fill several balloons at once, which saves a lot of time. With this device, you can enjoy more fun time without having to fill the balloons one by one. This is the Rayon Pocket, an air conditioner that you can take everywhere. It is a curious creation of the Sony brand. The prototype is a portable device that is used with a special shirt and can be placed on the back below the nape of the neck. The most interesting thing is that this device is the size of a credit card. This portable air conditioner is capable of lowering the temperature by 13 degrees on hot days or raising the temperature to about 8 degrees on cold days. Sea urchins tend to cover themselves with stones and empty shells to protect themselves from predators and UV rays. This natural protection strategy is common among them. In addition, some aquarists have discovered that if you give them small hats, the sea urchins also use them. Columbus did not discover countries in the modern sense, but his voyages in 1492 brought to Europe the knowledge of islands in the Caribbean. On his first voyage, he arrived at what are now the Bahamas and the island of Hispaniola, which includes Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Although he did not reach the American continent, his expeditions initiated a process of colonization and transformation with historical repercussions for both worlds. The No Street name, Hill, also known as Florentino Pass, is an avenue located in the La Mexicana neighborhood of the Álvaro Obregón borough in Mexico City. It is famous for its steep slope, which makes it a dangerous challenge for drivers. Due to this slope, The street has been the scene of numerous accidents, including cars and motorcycles that lose control when descending. Penguin feces emit an abundant amount of nitrous oxide, known as laughing gas or hilarious gas, which can cause anesthetic effects in humans. This gas has been used as a sedative during clinical processes, and prolonged exposure can cause dizziness in people. This is the Darvaza crater, popularly known as the Door to Hell. It is located in the Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan. It is 69 meters in diameter and about 30 meters deep. The interior temperature is 400 degrees Celsius, which makes it very dangerous. It was created after an accident in 1971 when some Soviet geologists saw their equipment swallowed by the Earth and realized that it was a natural gas cave. Fearing that the crater would cause the escape of dangerous gases, they decided to set it on fire, thinking that it would be extinguished in a few days and, as you can see, to this day it is still burning in flames almost 50 years later. Nowadays you can visit it, but you must be accompanied by a guide. The glass sculptures of the Austrian visual artist Thomas Medicus are amazing. Medicus is known for his anamorphic sculptures and cubes. As you move around the work, an image gradually dissolves. The glass cases are made of crystal, concrete, and metal and criticize human-built buildings and the invasion of natural habitats. According to Medicus, the human habitat largely contradicts coexistence with non-human animals. This penthouse in New York is the highest residence in the world. It is located at 431 meters, and these are its views. It is valued at $250 million. Alan Khan is known as the king of the speed bag and is famous for his speed and coordination when hitting the speed bag. He is the author of the Speed Bag Bible and has been a speed bag enthusiast for more than 40 years. Before getting to the definitive name of SpongeBob, the character was initially conceived as Sponge Boy. However, this name was already registered, which forced a last-minute change. Fortunately, the name we know today has left an indelible mark on popular culture. SpongeBob has become a television icon, entertaining generations with his adventures in Bikini Bottom. A sustainable alternative made 100% of cardboard to link soda cans is Kill Clip, which is already being used by popular brands in some countries. This innovation seeks to replace traditional plastic rings, thus reducing the environmental impact. The Heinz tomato sauce brand has launched a red tattoo ink called Heinz Tattoo Ink. This ink was developed in collaboration with the Brazilian creative agency Soho and the ink manufacturer Electric Ink. It uses the official registered Heinz 57 red color and is free of harmful ingredients. Koalas' fingerprints are unique to each individual, just like human fingerprints. This characteristic is used in the research and conservation of the species to identify koalas individually. This is the fastest digital book scanner in the world. It scans 250 pages per minute. Fairy chimneys, also known as earth pyramids, are tall, thin rock formations that can be found in regions around the world such as Cappadocia in Turkey and Bryce Canyon National Park in the United States. These structures are formed by differential erosion, where softer materials are eroded more quickly than the harder ones that cover them. Pietro Catadella is an Italian illustrator who has a curious, fun, and incredible way of introducing his art into real life. Flamingos are known for their impressive dance displays that play a crucial role in the formation and maintenance of their complex social structures. During these dances, flamingos perform a series of synchronized movements that strengthen the bonds within the group and are essential for mate selection. Just like the plankton you see on some of the world's beaches, people are also bioluminescent. We cannot distinguish it, since this light is 1,000 times weaker than what our eyes are capable of capturing. The Codex Leicester is the most expensive book sold at an auction. It was bought by Bill Gates in 1994 for $30 million. Its name comes from the Earl of Leicester, Thomas Coke, who acquired it in the 17th century. The Codex deals with topics such as astronomy, geology, meteorology, hydrodynamics, and paleontology from the perspective of Leonardo da Vinci. Ryan Jenks and Kimberly Wegland got married 120 meters high in the desert of Moab, Utah. The ceremony took place on a colorful net suspended at 5 points. Fortunately, everyone was secured with safety harnesses. The event was exciting and unique, with breathtaking views and an unforgettable experience for the bride and groom and their guests. The British artist Susan Stockwell has created an impressive world map made with recycled computer parts. Her work is a fascinating way to give a second life to useless components that would have otherwise become electronic waste. The world map is composed of motherboards, electrical wiring, fans, hard drives, and other recycled components that she collected for more than 10 years. One of the first selfies in history was taken in 1925 in England. The photograph was shared by Alan Cleaver, grandson of Arnold and Helen, who claims that his grandfather was, without planning it, the creator of the famous selfie stick. The most powerful magnet in the world is the central solenoid of the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor that is being built in the south of France. This magnet has a magnetic force 280,000 times greater than the Earth's magnetic field and can lift an aircraft carrier 2 meters into the air. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe so you don't miss more interesting content. Leave your comments and click on any of these videos. See you next time.